Breaking, there's a Kenyan national who's a convicted SEX offender, was arrested by ICE after working in Minnesota's Department of Education. This story's crazier than you think.
Tumult.
His name is Wilson. Yep, he's involved. Wilson Tindy, a Kenyan national, was convicted in 2016 for SEX assaulting a Minnesota woman. While an immigration judge ordered his removal after serving his sentence, a federal judge later ordered his release from ICE custody. Tindy held a director position for the Minnesota Department of Education. How did a convicted SEX offender and foreign national land a government job in the Department of Education? Well, let's watch this video.
Our first stop is an address in Plymouth. It's the home of a convicted sex offender and former director at the Minnesota Department of Education. Wealth News exposed in June, sparking an online firestorm over the state's hiring practices. Wilson Tindy, a Kenyan national, was convicted of sexually assaulting a sleeping woman in the Twin Cities after breaking into her home. Tindy pled guilty to the crime 9 years ago. A judge ordered his removal from the United States. But a federal judge ultimately ruled that Tindy's removal was not warranted. Tindy spent 18 months in ICE custody and then landed taxpayer-funded positions at 2 separate Minnesota state agencies. After our reports, Tindy's status has changed.
We really have to go through, work with our legal team to make sure that the conviction would qualify for, removability from the U.S. So it did take us kind of a long time and a lot of research with help from our legal team, who are amazing. We did come up with a immigration charge because of his criminality. We do have, a warrant of arrest for him today. So, just praying all goes well and everyone remains safe during the arrest.
So this isn't a random pickup on the street today like the media likes to portray?
Right. Yep. It is not. Lots of hours went into this case.
ICE officers park blocks away to wait for the right moment to move in.
We're expecting him to leave the apartment, and normally he does go northwest when he comes out of there. So we'll be probably the third car back.
He was heading towards his apartment.
Within minutes, they're on the move.
They got lights and sirens on right now.
Walking up to the townhouse, Tindy is already in handcuffs in his garage next to his BMW.
Wow. So this is from last July when the story was widely reported. Wilson Tindy convicted SEX assault after he admitted to entering a woman's apartment without permission and assaulting her while she slept. In December of 2014, he was ordered to remove from the country. We covered that. Records showed Tindy from Kenya was ordered to remove from the country after overstaying his visa, which was granted for 6 months after he entered the country in November 2005. ICE then took him into custody in 2009, but was released after filing a motion to reopen his immigration proceedings. Tindy was then charged with burglary and SEX assault in 2014 for trying to SEX assault a woman in her apartment while she slept. He then pleaded guilty to the assault, and had the burglary dismissed as part of his plea agreement. After his assault and conviction, judge ordered Tindy to be removed to Kenya, his country of origin. That was in 2016. Records showed Tindy then filed a petition for writ of habeas corpus, arguing that he should be released because he was not a threat to the community and that ICE was not allowed to hold him indefinitely.
We don't have habeas corpus.
A judge then ruled in favor of Tindy, and he was released in February of 2018 after being in ICE custody for 18 months. His criminal record shows he was also arrested for driving while intoxicated, a charge that was dismissed in favor of a careless driving plea in 2022. Minnesota House Representative Kristen Robbins said she sent a letter to the commissioner for the Minnesota Department of Education asking to learn more about the organization's hiring practices and how Tindy was able to pass a background check.
No kidding.
Part of the letter saying, having served on the Human Services Background Study Eligibility Task Force in 2022, I'm concerned that an individual who is a registered SEX offender and has a felony conviction for fourth-degree criminal SEX conduct could pass a background check in a state agency and be hired as director level with management responsibilities and access to Minnesotans' private data. The Minnesota Department of Education released the statement clarifying Tindy's role at the time of employment. Wilson Tindy is not a current employee at the Minnesota Department of Education. He was a probationary employee in an internal role at MDE for approximately 2.5 months. He did not interact with students, visit schools, or have access to private students. Oh, well, that makes me feel better. MDE officials also released the details on the job Tindy worked at the Department of Education. First date of his employment was April 9th, 2025. Last date of employment was June 27th of 2025. His title, Director of Internal Audit and Advisory Services. Director. His annual salary, $145,000. Holy F and F.
Who was he connected to that he was able to get that
Right?
position?
Tim Waltz is my guess. I'm guessing Tim Waltz.
Judges make it almost impossible to deport illegal aliens. Take, for example, Wilson Tindy, a Kenyan national. ICE has been trying to deport him for almost 20 years, but they are stymied by federal judges. Tindy is a serial SEX offender with convictions, jail time, and yet every time ICE gets a removal order, a federal judge steps in to stop them. Even after he was convicted, the state of Minnesota hired him as its chief auditor despite his illegal status. Just look at this insane timeline. 2005, he overstays his visa. 2007, applied for permanent residency. Denied. 2009, ICE issued removal order. Didn't leave. 2011, removal order reversed. 2012, RAPED to woman, but not charged. 2014, RAPED another woman, charged. 2014, granted permanent lawful residency. 2016, ICE detained him for removal. 2016, convicted of fourth-degree criminal SEX conduct, sentenced to 2 years, stayed for 5 years, 210 days workhouse predatory SEX offender registry. 2017, removal order upheld by the Board of Appeals. 2018, filed a petition in state court to change his name. 2018, Judge David Dore granted habeas corpus petition. 2018, hired by the state of Minnesota. 2023, promoted to Director of Internal Audit. 2025, filed a petition to vacate his guilty plea. 2025, got a DWI arrest in June of 2025. 3 misdemeanors. 2025, fired from his state job. So there you go.
Jimmy, this is from AI, and it says reports indicate that his hiring may have been a result of Minnesota's Ban the Box law, which was passed in 2009 and prevents employers from asking about criminal convictions on initial job applications. This
What?
is I don't even understand that.
I don't get that either. This is all hard to understand. This is very hard to understand. This is the kind of thing that gives Trump power. This is the kind of
Minnesota
thing.
in Canada?
This is the kind of thing. What's that?
Is Minnesota part of Canada? That's one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
This is one of the craziest things I've ever heard.
What does Tim Waltz have to say about
I wonder what
this?
Tim Waltz has to say.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?
Yeah. Hey, we'll see you this week in Chicago at Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, and then Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Laughter's the best medicine. Come see me on tour in Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.